What's good? What's good? Here we are back at it again. Another night, another video. I was searching through the internet, right? And I found a nice little article. This time is by CNBC. All right. So the title we got is How to Talk to People. Psychology expert. The number one phrase to shut down a manipulator. It changes the power balance. Without further ado, y'all, let's get straight into it. Number one way to shut down a manipulator. In my decade of advising Fortune 500 companies as a behavioral researcher, I found that one of the most effective ways to stop a manipulator is one key phrase. That's interesting. Tell me more. Manipulative people thrive on emotional reactions, confusion, and ambiguity. This simple phrase helps neutralize that and change the power balance in the conversation. With "that's interesting," you're acknowledging what's been said without validating or challenging the claim. You're simply signaling, I heard you and I'm not rattled. This removes the emotional hook that many manipulators rely on. With "tell me more" or other variations, what makes you say that? Will lead you to that conclusion. If you are cutting away any confusion and ambiguity in favor of in favor of curiosity, why questions can feel accusatory and often trigger defensiveness. Stick with the more open tone "what" statement in order to keep the exchange from escalating further. If you find yourself in situations where you are being gaslit, guilt tripped, or coerced, here's how to best use this simple but subtly powerful phrase. Now, this the whole thing about it for me. When you're trying to shut a manipulator down, my thing is always trying to see like what angle you coming from. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's more than just what meets the eye when it come to me. And I always want to know like in certain aspects, like what are you referring to? If you're talking about a certain situation or a certain person or something like that in a certain context, and I'm familiar with that, maybe I can speak on it. If it ain't my business to speak on, I won't. But then again, it's just how you framing the question, what angle you coming from. I don't know what you getting at what you asking. So yeah, I like that they said that in some of them questions. Now, I'm not about to get out in my feelings and do all this other stuff you be talking about, but I do understand shutting down manipulators for sure. For sure. It's annoying. But as we continue in the article, if someone is trying to gaslight you, gaslighting is when someone makes you question your memory or perception of reality. Mm. They might say, I never said that. You're remembering it wrong. You can reply, that's interesting. Tell me more about how you remember it. Then you can follow up with, that's not how I remember it. Or if applicable, let's ask someone who else, let's ask someone else who was there. Um this what I think. Like when we talk about master manipulators, I don't think it's many of them out there. I just think it's a lot of green people out here that don't have no power or whatnot. But I think you also have to grow up in a certain environment where you're not caught up, where you're being told the truth about yourself all the time, and you have to overcome that, right? Either be better or prove those people wrong that's not you. But either way, gaslighting and master manipulators, I feel like once you catch enough game and throughout life, you can spot that on somebody in 10, 15 minutes of talking. Sometimes not even that. You can meet a person and off top, just tell by their body language and their energy that, yeah, nah, this ain't it. I can tell the person might be trying to manipulate me with fly words. And it don't work. But yeah, man. If someone is trying to gaslight you, these may be the things that they do. But then again, I also have to say what situation you in. If it's a friend, if it's a colleague, if think about it, if it's your spouse, bro, you down, man, it's raps. It's raps for you, big dog. If it's somebody at work, then you can address that in a certain way, whether they are superior or subordinate. It's always a way to address certain things. But yeah, man, if someone's trying to guilt trip you, my bad. Back to the article. If someone is trying to guilt trip you, we've all been there. Someone uses obligation or emotion to pressure you to do something you don't want to do. They might say, after everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me. You can reply, that's interesting. What makes you say that? Then follow up with, I appreciate what you've done, and this is still my decision. Or I can care about you, but still choose differently. Let me finish up. This works because the focus shifts from your supposed guilt to their reasoning. When you ask them to articulate their logic and explain themselves, the emotional pressure and leverage often weakens. Yo, um, and well, how I grew up, like we call this holding something over somebody's head, or like um a big problem I always have. Like I ain't gonna lie, a problem I had with people in the past is don't do something for me or give me something in hopes of me return, giving you that back or with that effort. That's a big problem I have with people because for one, if it's uninvited, then you know what I'm saying? Why is you going out your way to do it anyway? If it's just a kind gesture, I respect that, but don't expect anything back from a kind gesture. I feel like that's supposed to be part of who you are as a person. But if you're going about things like life like that, where it's a I give, I get back, I give, I get back, I just feel like that's ingenuine. I'm not gonna lie. But in business, that's business. If you want a business relationship built off things like that, like I give, you get back, you know what I'm saying? Like that makes sense. I ain't even gonna lie. In business, it makes sense. But at the same time, I don't feel like that's the way to have no relationship. Cause it's gonna be times where you putting up most of the effort or you putting up most of the bread, or that person, in reverse doing the same. I feel like it's ups and downs in life. So unless you just planning on being on top forever and never coming out that throne, then hey, more power to you. But I don't think like that. What we did guilt trip. Oh, it's not. We did guilt trip. It's oh shit, coerce. Yeah, ain't nobody coercing nothing from her. If someone is trying to subtly coerce you, subtle coercion. Damn, I can't talk. Subtle coercion shows up when a manipulator ties cooperation to your loyalty or care. They might say, "If you really care, you would agree with me." You can reply that it's interesting. What makes you think that? But they love this response, don't they? Come up with something different, bro. Then follow up with caring doesn't always mean we have to agree on everything. Or I can care and still see it differently. Bruh, all right, this blow me about people too. Cause it's like people be wanting to beef with you over a disagreement. And it's like, bruh, just because I'm your friend don't mean I have to think like you. I have to agree with everything you say. That shit annoys people. That annoys me about people. Like just because we're cool or we hang out or in majority of the things that we get along with, we have the same mindset about. Why does it have to be another world war just because me and you having a disagreement? If we disagree about it, that's cool. That's how you feel. That's how I feel. Even if it's even if you take it further and just say like, all right, this is some stats behind this. It's like science behind this. It's a real thing. But what y'all beefing about is one little small, little petty little thing, bro. And now people want to act like they can't be friends over a disagreement. People are weird. People are weird, bro. I swear to God. But yeah, I feel them on that, man. I can care and still see it differently. This detaches your values from their request. You're not arguing about whether you care. You're asking how they arrived at that conclusion. That creates psychological space, and that's when manipulation loses traction. Manipulators rely on emotional reactions. The moment you slow the exchange down and get curious, their leverage weakens. Calm questions protect your clarity and your boundaries, and shift conversations toward facts instead of feelings. In difficult conversations, composure is often more powerful than confrontation. I don't know if I agree. In difficult conversations, composure is more powerful than confrontation. Yeah, for sure. It depends though. Like whatever type of person you dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It comes down to the rapport and the bond you done built with somebody. If the bond you have with somebody is like, I hate to say it, but like our president, I feel like he one of them people where this applies to. Like, if you disagree with me, you an enemy. Cause you gotta agree with everything I do. You gotta agree with everything I say. Like, like it's wild. It's wild. He run a strict program, bro, and it's not something I would like. Yeah, nah, for real, bro. I don't have to agree with everything you agree with just because we cool. Just because I like you, love you, it don't matter who you are in my life, what you are in my life. We don't have to agree on everything, and I want everybody to know that's cool, bro. It's cool if we don't get along sometimes. It's cool if we ain't seeing eye to eye on certain issues. I don't think like most people, so it's okay. But that shouldn't start a beef. You shouldn't be worried about like trying to ruin people's life and doing fuck shit to them because of a disagreement. Like y'all people are weird in this new age, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Like, yeah, damn, bring my grandmother generation back. All right. This is what we're talking about. Oh, it's now. I think that's the full article. Yeah, we done, man. That's a quick one. That's a short one. But yeah, man, okay. It's a lot of stuff that the article said that I don't really agree with. But majority of it, I'm just like 90% of it, I do agree with because um I've been a victim of manipulation, as we all have. I've manipulated a shit ton of people too. Whether that's to do good or bad. My thing is a lot of people act like manipulation is bad. It's not. I just think it could go in different ways. It could go to the light or to the dark. So if you manipulate somebody to grow, like, man, we was watching one of them serial deleter shows, bro. And it was this couple and their sons who had moved from cross seas, bro, and they got over here and the dad and the son was going, hey, bro. I'm talking about H crazy. Murking. I'm talking about knocking people out the mouth around this motherfucker. But I feel like see what I'm talking about? That's a part of grooming and manipulation to where it's like I'm gonna do you something bad. But some people like for my grandma, she used to have my head like so high. I like my confidence was through the roof. So it's never anything that I thought I couldn't do. Even though that might come like that might bring you to like a nasty realization later in life. But do you know how healthy that is for a child's confidence? Is for them genuinely to believe they can do anything that they try, they can succeed in it. Like that to me, that's manipulation because we all know that ain't true. Everything you touch ain't gonna be successful. Some stuff gonna be a major flop, but it's that one thing that click. Yeah. So I don't think manipulation bad. I just think that most people, when they get power over anything, over any little thing in their life, they misuse it and they abuse it every single time. Most people not made for power. Most people need to be governed. Power ain't for everybody, and I ain't gonna lie. Like on a different topic, but that's the way the world is now. Y'all gave the wrong people power. These people was never meant to have power. Ever throughout history, from the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, ancient history, none of these people that y'all are putting in these positions is supposed to have power. But y'all gave it to them, and look what's happening to the world. And that's why I don't feel bad for nobody that came before me. I really just feel sorry for us and below. That's on another topic for another day, y'all. I'm out, bro. Y'all have a great day.